What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin. Welcome to episode 12 of Otaku Underground Radio podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about the Red Letter Media's review of Prey. We're going to also talk about the latest DCEU news with David Slaslov. And I'm also going to give my top 10 list of my favorite anime, battle shonen and mecha anime, because there's a perception that on my channel from my subscribers I only like, battle shonen or mecha. I like, I like other genres, right? It's like most of these are action oriented as well, right? But yeah, this is my second take recording this podcast, but the first take, it was 12 minutes of me talking about both BS that nobody would want to hear. Even though the rest of the podcast was good, nobody would want to hear me talk about 12 minutes about me bitching about working every day for 2 weeks when I'm working part-time jobs, when some of you guys are working full-time jobs and working 10 hours a day, which I used to do that till I got a big head of myself during the Trump era when the economy was looking good, and then I made some dumbass decisions, and now I'm working multiple part-time jobs in the Biden years, and it looks like it's going to get even worse. But it is what it is. Yeah. So first topic, which I should talk about, is I'm also going to talk about Digimon Survive. But the first topic is Midnight Suns, which was one of the few RPGs, one of the few games I was going to buy this year. Which I've already bought 3 games already, I think. Well, actually, 4. No, 3. Stranger of Paradise, Live a Live, and Digimon Survive, right? And the last game I was gonna get this year was Midnight Suns, but the stupid developers fucking delayed the game till next year. And it's dude, it's a tactical RPG. It's a tactical RPG. How long can it take? I say this after Digimon Survive took how long to fucking come out, and then they turned it into a fucking visual novel. But there are gameplay elements. There are free battle option, and you can collect Digimon. So at least there's that. But later on, I'm going to go into what I hate about Digimon Survive so far, which I haven't played that much. Right? But yeah, Midnight Suns, it's such bullshit because I was in the mood to play another superhero RPG, and there's not a lot of superhero RPGs out there, except for the X-Men Legends games, Ultimate Alliance games. There was that really crappy action RPG, X-Men Destiny, which only takes 5 hours to beat or some fucking shit. I fucking beat that shit in the afternoon, man. It's holy fuck. Could you have fucking imagine getting that game on launch? Holy fuck, I would have lost my fucking shit. The game's fucking shorter than Kane and Lynch Dog Days, which that's a great game, but super short. Yeah, that was a great game. And Jeff Gershman lost his job trashing. Was it the first one or the second one? I can't remember. Yeah. If you never played the Kane and Lynch games, they're pretty good, actually. Especially the first one. But the second one, it takes place in Hong Kong, and it's fucking amazing, dude. But it's super short. Right? But yeah, it's just such bullshit. The fucking game that got delayed. And there's talks that it got delayed because they're putting in more fucking microtransaction bullshit or whatever, which is like, I hope that's not the case. Or was it? Or did I hear that they're actually taking that shit out? I doubt it. They're probably gonna add more. Cause fuck, man, a lot of games nowadays has too much microtransactions. There's shit like there's news that Soul Hackers 2 is they're taking out they're gutting story content, and they're making some of the demons that you have to buy them digitally, which is fuck that. I'm not buying Soul Hackers 2 on launch. I'm not buying Soul Hackers 2. You know what? I'm gonna fucking rant about Digimon Survive. I like Digimon Survive, but you know what? The fucking game is pretty much like an SMT ripoff with its story and how it even recruits like Digimon. Not once do they call Digimon in Digimon Survive, and the whole story is our characters get sucked into the digital world, but they don't know it's the digital world, and they meet Digimon, but the Digimon don't even know they're digital monsters. So it's just our characters. We're watching our characters play catch up for what, 30 hours the game takes to fucking beat. It's like, holy fuck. And I didn't mind when Cyber Sleuth was basically an SMT game, but with Digimon elements, because that was the first Digimon game to do SMT. Now we have another Digimon game ripping off SMT, and it's gone too far. And it makes it so when new SMT games come out, I don't want to play it because I already played like some SMT like games, man. Fucking bullshit, right? But yeah, that's not just a problem with the games. Some of the anime that comes out, like the Digimon Tri movies, Digimon Ghost game, right? They don't fucking feel like Digimon anime either. The fucking PS1 Digimon games that had no relation to the creators of Digimon, right? And they had no anime to go off. Some of the earlier Digimon games, they still felt like Digimon, like traditional Digimon, like, you know, stories. Even though they like the first one didn't even have an anime to go off. You know, at the point where Digimon World 1 came out, the highest level was Ultimate, which is perfect in Japan, right? There were no Megas, which the Megas in Digimon are called Ultimate, which is super fucking confusing. God damn it. Oh my god. But yeah. So yeah, that annoys the shit out of me, right? But yeah, like I'm just sick that, like, you know, maybe it's because I'm getting old and, like, you know, but like, fuck, dude, it sucks that, like, you know, Digimon, no wonder Digimon as a franchise is kind of losing steam in the West and the rest of the world, because the fucking people who make Digimon shit nowadays don't fucking, like, aren't fans of the anime or whatever. Which, it's okay to bring in, you know, fresh, like, you know, new blood to liven up this fucking, like, you know, thing. But you still have to make something that's somewhat similar to the old shit. It's like when fucking Tomono hired legendary Hollywood designer Sid Mead to work on Gundam Turn A. You know, he had to say, draw me a Gundam, and he gave him the gold sumo. And Yoshiyuki Tomo was like, I like the gold sumo, but it's too much of the departure for Gundam fans. Can you make a more traditional Gundam? And then he made the Turn A Gundam, which has the fucking mustache, the Crescent Moon mustache, and it's one of the best Gundam designs of all time. So sometimes compromise can make better shit, right? But you still have to, like, you know, make shit look like, somewhat feel like the shit that came up before. in fucking franchises, right? So yeah, that kind of pisses me off about Digimon Survive, but the fact that they added free battles and you can collect Digimon in Digimon Survive, to me, it means when I do eventually beat it or do my review, if I do beat it, it's going to get at least a 5 out of 10 for that. Because like once we heard it was going to be a visual novel, I was like, oh fuck, oh shit, here we go again. But you know what? The fact that you can still collect Digimon is great. Though I'm fucking pissed off that one of the early Digimon that you can get in the game is Gotsumon, and he doesn't fucking Digivolve into Golemon, which is one of my favorite fucking Digimon from the OG back in the day. Golemon was one of my favorite fucking cards back in the day, right? Which I think I traded like I traded like really good card, but I hated the design for Golemon, who was only a champion, who is a rock type champion and is the natural progression evolution for fucking Gotsumon. Who does Gotsumon Digivolve into in this fucking game? Let me turn on my Switch and I'll fucking tell you. If I'm not in the middle of a cutscene. I am in the middle of a cutscene. It was Garjomon. It was Numemon, the shit throwing Digimon, and it was some other Digimon, but none of them were Golemon, man. Which is like, Golemon is a really cool orange kind of rock Digimon with like leather straps and shit. Really cool design, and he's in, I think I looked up the other day, he's only in 2 fucking games, right? And one of them is like one of the shitty Digimon World DS games, man. It's such fucking bullshit that Golemon is not in more fucking games. It's a fucking underutilized design, right? So yeah, I think that's enough for Digimon Survive ranking, right? What should we talk about next? Let's talk about the David Slasloff shit. And there's also the new news that Ezra Miller apologized half-heartedly and said he's like going to seek medical treatment for his mental illnesses. And it totally came off that he didn't even like write the fucking thing that his press people did. It's basically spin. Like the whole thing just reeks of spin, which is, for people who don't know what spin is, which you need to watch the BBC show, and not In the Loop. That was the movie. The Thick of It. That was the BBC show, which was a political comedy show about like, you know, this guy whose job it was to help politicians and political parties get out of bad press, right? That's what spin is called. When you take bad press for your clients and you turn it into good shit, right? You make it go away, right? So that's clearly what's going on with the Ezra Miller shit, and it's basically a last ditch like effort from Warner Brothers and Ezra Miller to keep the Flash, you know, keep the Flash, you know, movie, right? To not have it canned, nobody wants the Flash movie to be canned, but what we do want is you to get rid of whatever bullshit you were planning, which was rebooting the fucking, you know, DCEU and replacing Henry Cavill Superman and Ben Affleck Batman with Batgirl and like non-comic accurate Batgirl and Supergirl. And we just want Ezra Miller to be gone, recast the fucker, get him out of here. Okay? And there's some shit, and like apparently he's in jail right now. I don't know if that's true. But yeah, so it's like, dude, he's not gonna be doing any press junkets, alright, or whatever the fuck it's called. Just get him out of here. Nobody liked his casting as the Flash anyway. Okay, so it's like, can we get rid of him? And I don't want Elliot Page as fucking Flash, okay? If it was like, if fucking Warner Brothers was like, you can either have Ezra Miller or you can have Elliot Page, I would be like, fuck. I would be like, you know what? I'm a Marvel fanboy now. Fuck DC if they gave that ultimatum. But fuck, man. Like, and then there's the fact that it's the movie. From what we know about the Flash movie, it's basically just a bad adaptation of Flashpoint. Which already it's fucking sad that we get a Flash movie, and the only fucking movie they can make is by adapting Flashpoint, which is pretty recent, right? And it's like, Flash is actually a pretty popular character. There are like Silver Age Marvel fans that like hate fucking DC, but like there's like two characters they love, besides from Superman. It's Batman and Flash, because Flash has, not only is Flash a cool character, but he has a pretty good rogues gallery. His rogues gallery rivals Batman and Superman's rogues gallery. Is it as good? No, but it's close, man. Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang, great fucking villains, right? Reverse Flash, Zoom, great fucking villains, man. Oh my god. It was me, Barry. It was me all along. I fucked your mom. I'm your dad, bitch. Which that would be it. They should do that. Where it's like, oh, like Albert Thrawn went back in time, fucked Flash's mom, and like made Barry. That would be fucking. Because if you looked at like he looks nothing like his dad, right? And Thrawn and like, you know, Barry kind of look, you know, close. But like it would be a fun, like, you know, plot twist, right? But yeah, it's just that, you know, it just totally reeks that, like, you know, because Jeff Johns has like creative control, and something makes me think, was this fucking Jeff Johns' idea? But Jeff Johns is a great, you know, comic book writer. He was in my top 5 favorite comic writers of all time. But man, when it comes to the fucking movies, he makes some fucking dumb decisions, man. Maybe it's everybody else, but like, holy fuck. And the guy, he's written some very good episodes of Smallville, man. Right? Like, even though I stopped watching Smallville, I went back to watch the episodes he wrote, which he introduced. He did episodes where he introduced the JSA, and he introduced the Legion of Superheroes, right? Though I didn't watch the Legion of Superheroes episode. I at some point I will. Right? But it's like, holy fuck, man. It's like, goddamn. Like, they need to shit and get off the pot with the Flash movie. And I almost don't want to talk about all the fucking news about the David Slassoff in the DCEU, because there's so much, these fuckers, these Snyderverse fuckers, the comic film, like the movie, superhero movie shills, non-stop putting out videos of this news and that news, and the next day they'll contradict each other, but they'll leave the old videos up. It's like, god fucking damn it, man. Super fucking confusing. But like the news that I fucking believe is that David Slassoff wants to make the DCEU like focus more on the Trinity, which is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and then later on, you know, once we get those characters right, then we build up the other character, which kind of sucks as somebody like me who's kind of sick of seeing the same superhero, like DC superheroes, in like the animated movies, but like it's different live action, right? Let's get the fucking main characters right. Then we go to more obscure shit. But it's like it's kind of sad that with the success of the Doom Patrol show, even though I don't like the Doom Patrol show, I don't like a lot of the woke shit and a lot of the changes they made to the the comic book and whatnot. But yeah, I do want like a Doom Patrol movie, and I want like I think there's lots of cool DC characters and teams that deserve movies that we haven't gotten, right? Like that deserve like films. Like a Spectre film would be good. Metal Men would be good. Shadow Pact would be fucking amazing. Which fuck Justice League Dark. Just make a Shadow Pact fucking movie. Okay? Justice League Dark is just like just make a superhero Justice League themed team that hunt the supernatural. You already had a fucking DC team that fought the supernatural. Shadow Pact, bitch. Written by the guy who fucking wrote and created Fables. Like Shadow Pact, like I only read the first 3 issues of Shadow Pact because I never found a trade or nothing. But the first 3 issues are pretty fucking good. I would definitely hunt down if I ever see more Shadow Pact comics. I'm hunting those fuckers down. The first 3 issues were pretty good, right? Even though it was just our characters fight like basically them like evil versions of themselves. Still was good. Yeah. And Bill Williamson's a good writer. Though I'm surprised like he went Comicsgate, because if you read his shit, he kind of came off kind of a libtard. So it's like, oh, he's Comicsgate? I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Oh, I did find it funny that all the people bitching like and crying over the Batgirl cancellation was funny. Kevin Smith was going to work. Kevin Smith is also crying because a TV show that he was supposed to work on as a writer got canceled, which was Strange Adventures, which sounded cool. But knowing who were working on it, the movie probably would have sucked. So, yeah. And it sucks that we're not getting that Batman Beyond movie, but, if the rumors were true, that movie would have sucked. And the greatest fucking news is that, the Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman movie also got canned. Fuck yeah. We don't need more divisive fucking films, man. Especially superhero movies. But yeah, yeah. So let's get on to the main topic of this podcast. Which I hope to God... I did a legendary rant in the first take, but the podcast had to be deleted because the audio editing free software sucks on this computer. But like, hopefully lightning crashes twice or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the fucking Red Letter Media Prey review, which was basically them like white knighting that Prey movie, which was what, an Amazon's Hulu movie, or Amazon Prime. I don't fucking know, right? I watched it at a friend's house, but it's just sad because it's like they basically did a reverse 2016 Ghostbusters, which they did back in the day when 2016 Ghostbusters came out. They were one of the few film critics to actually trash that movie when everybody was afraid of being called a sexist or bigot or whatever, right? they were the only people to have balls to do a review trashing it, and it not only was it a pretty hilarious review, they were also drunk as fuck. They were literally half in the bag in that fucking episode, right? And it's just sad to see their white knighting for this terrible, like this, even to me, I gave it a 5 out of 10 in my review, but like, after watching not Boxes, fuck, who did a review for Prey that I watched recently? Fuck. No, whatever. Some other people did, like, bad movie reviews. Other people I respect. Boxes said on his Boxes production said on a stream that he hated the movie too, and yeah. So it's just like I thought the movie was decent, right? But at the same time, it's like a lot of movies that come out are trash now. So I even said in my movie review is that this movie could suck, could be terrible, but I have such low standards to me. It's just like a 5 out of 10, right? But like, yeah, it's their whole basis for why the movie is good is because it's original, right? It's original because it's a period piece, like fucking Predator film. Not knowing, these guys obviously did not do any research. Not only have the Predator fan films have been doing, period piece Predator movies for a while. The movie that you loved because it was original 100% ripped off a fucking fan film to the point where they had, like, it was set in the same, like, time frame, and it was set and had a female Native American lead, and the movie was also power fantasy feminist movie. So, like, your whole basis for why the movie is fucking good is fucking bullshit. That, and they're like, oh, the cinematography was great. The only times the cinematography was great in that movie was when they were fucking ripping off The Revenant. At other times, it was just generic, man. It was not great. Needed more night scenes, right? And the fucking acting was so fucking bad. How did they not notice the fucking bad acting and the modern, like, accents from the actors, man? It's like, holy fuck. Well, how did they not notice that? Were they trolling us? Like they trolled me when after that Rather Media rant I did, where I ranted that they refused to fucking review Tenet, but they'll review fucking the shitty Borat 2 fucking movie. Which I know why. They won't admit it, but I know why they wouldn't, at the time, they wouldn't review Tenet. And I know for the fact that the reason why they refuse to review Tenet now is because of me. but yeah, they made a reference to my Tenet review, and like one of their half in the bag videos right after my Tenet rant, my Red Letter Me Tenet rant, which I deleted because not because people downvoted it and people trashed me. It's because of because of shit. I'm not gonna talk about it. But yeah, it's just sad, and the whole fact that, like, this movie's great. The fucking metaphors with the Prey. The movie's based off the Predator movies named after the thing the Predator refuses to hunt, and it's named after the main character. Yeah, I got that shit. That, like, for fuck's sakes, 3 times in the fucking movie, the Predator would see, like, a Predator hunt prey, and then it would go in and kill the fucking Predator and leave the prey alone. So it was pretty fucking obvious that the name of the movie was named after the female main character, who the Predator not only refused to kill till the end of the movie, but like saved her like multiple times. I think she, or maybe just the one time. I don't remember, but it was definitely he saved her from that fucking bear, and she repays him by cutting his arm off and killing him at the end of the movie. When like yeah, it's the thing where like you know the Predator. If they had just left the Predator alone, like there was no reason for like you know them to fight the Predator, to be honest, because it was like it's not like it was hunting their game, right? It was hunting other predators, like other obstacles to their hunting, right? So there was like no reason really. Well, he did go after the hunting party, right? But yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's just, but I just think the fact that they're like, oh, the movie's secretly great, bitch. If the fucking studio didn't think the movie was great, otherwise it would have been put in theaters and not put on fucking streaming. The fact that it was put on streaming and go on theaters just automatically should tell you, hey, the people who owned the movie didn't think the fucking movie was good. Have a, like, use your fucking brain. Oh my god. Right? But yeah. So yeah, let's just get on to our main, like, our final topic, which is, you know, my top 10 favorite anime, non-fucking battle shonen, and, mecha, which, you know, you guys have this perception of me that I only like the two genres of fucking, you know, anime, which is like, you know, battle shonen and mecha, because most of my reviews is like, I don't even review a lot of shonen on my channel, actually. Let's look at my anime reviews. How many shonen reviews did I do? Mecha, yeah, I've done lots of mecha, but like, you know, how many battle shonens have I reviewed? Well, Jujutsu Kaisen is kind of battle shonen. That was only episode 1. Not Gintama. Pokemon? No, that doesn't count. No. Ultraman's kinda battle shonen. Yeah, Demon Slayer, Mugen Train, that counts. JoJo, that counts. I did 2 JoJo reviews. Wow, I only reviewed 4 battles. And you guys are like, oh, he's like, you know, he only likes battle shonen and mecha anime. Oh my god. Yeah, so okay, let's just get on with my top 10 non-mecha and shonen anime that I love, right? Which, holy fuck, this is gonna be a bitch to edit. But number 1 is a fantasy anime, and it's not the fantasy anime that you think. Right? There's only, like, in my opinion, unless we count shit like Inuyasha, fucking Fullmetal Alchemist, there's only 2 good fantasy anime, right? And this one is number 10 on my list, and that is Record of Lodoss War. I'm doing the OVA and not the anime, the 25 episode anime. Or was it 24? I can't remember. I'm doing the OVA series, which was like 13 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't watch the anime, the television series, because it was like, they were doing this the Evil Dead 2 version of Record of Lodoss War, where they were like retelling like the second half of the OVA series, but retconning shit. So it was like a quasi sequel to the OVA series, but then also retelling this. It was a clusterfuck. I'm gonna wait until like it's been a while before I watch that shit. But yeah, the reason why Record of Lodoss War OVA series is here. One is 13 episodes. That's like it's a short series. But the animation's beautiful, and the art was great. I love the choice of music for the anime. Very D&D-esque music. Apparently, the anime was based off. I'm not sure what came first, the tabletop RPG or the book series, which I read the first book, and the first book was amazing. I love the first book, even though it was super short, but it was a great book, right? It's basically D&D. It's basically anime D&D Lord of the Rings, which the first episode of the OVA series is basically them in Helm's Deep, but like fighting a fucking dragon. It's fucking amazing, and it's what like if anybody who's going out there to make a fucking fantasy anime or manga or whatever, don't do the fucking retarded video game bullshit. Watch Record of Lodoss War, read actual like D&D and fantasy novels, which Hayuki Kuchiki, the creator of Vampire Hunter D and Demon City Shinjuku and Demon Palace Babylon, said what inspired him to write novels was reading like classic fantasy novels. So like all you fucker mangakas and anime directors who make fantasy anime, stop fucking ripping off video games. Read classic fucking fantasy. Your fucking video game anime bullshit fucking sucks. I spit on that shit. Okay? I literally spit on my wall and spit on my shoulder. But fuck that. Go fuck yourselves with that video game bullshit. Alright? Goblin Slayer is the one exception, because if you read the Goblin Slayer books, he's obviously inspired by D&D novels, and there's even references to Record of Lodoss War, right? The novel, not the anime. So yeah. So number 9 is this is a Shonen Jump series, but it's not a Shonen series, if you know what I mean. And that's Death Note. Do I need to go on why Death Note belongs on a top 10 anime list? One, it's really high level mind games, beautiful art style, great music, not so much the fucking theme songs and whatnot, but the animation's great, the art style is great, the tension, the mind game battles are great. The fucking epic voice acting by Canadian voice acting dub studio Ocean Group is fantastic. Okay, next for number 8 is a ninja anime, and it's not the ninja anime that you think it is. When people used to think of Battle Royale deathmatch anime, this was the series they fought back in the day, and this was a lot of people's favorite fucking ninja anime of all time, minus Ninja Scroll, and that's Basilic, bitch. Basilic, which tells the story of the Koga Ninja Clan versus the Oga, is it the Oga? The Iga Ninja Clan. It's fucking Battle Royale meets Romeo and Juliet, but with awesome ninja fucking death battles. Fucking, if you haven't watched Basilic, watch it. Okay, one of my favorite animes from back in the day. Alright? And this So it's one of my favorite animes, and I rewatch it all the time. But I've only watched the ending once or twice, because I hate the sad ending of Basilic. So number 7, I know people are gonna be pissed off that Cowboy Bebop is not on the list, but you know what? I don't like doing the thing where like you make a list and you have multiple shit from the same guy, right? So we only have one Shigeru Watanabe anime on this list, and that anime I chose was Samurai Champloo. One of the best fucking samurai comedy animes of all time, and I'm super pissed off I never got to play the PS2 game. Right? One of the best anime of all time, samurai anime of all time. Beautiful voice acting with Steve Blum. The other people whose names, escaped me, but like, yeah, this is one of my favorite anime of all time. I've watched both the sub and dub, and if you haven't watched it, watch it. And it was designed by Kazuto Nakazawa, who did the Kill Bill Volume 1 anime scene, right? And Mahiro Maeda, who did Last Exile, Blue Samurai, Blue Submarine number 6. Last Exile, if you haven't actually seen Last Exile, it's actually a pretty good anime, right? But yeah, okay, what are we up to? We're at, that was 7, 10, 9, 7. Okay, 6. 6 is, some people might consider this a battle shonen, but it's if you ever watch the fucking English dub, you know how fucking like R-rated the language is in the film. And this is Project Arms, which is a 52 episode anime series. It's very Guyver-esque. If you're a fan of Guyver and you're like, oh, pissed off that they never adapted the Guyver series, and you're like, oh, I want to watch more Guyver shit, watch Project Arms. The only downside to Project Arms is the second series. They went from the hand-drawn, beautiful 90s art to like more digital animation, not CGI, but like you know what I mean, right? Digital paint, like not it wasn't the second series is not as beautiful as the first series, but still the story is still fantastic, very R-rated, right? And it has a very similar premise to Guyver, right? Basically, and it's very cyberpunk with the story too. My only problem with the series is that it was like there's some recap, something went wrong with the budget for like the second season, and you had a bunch of recap episodes, and the final episode is just like narration and then recap bullshit. But despite that shit, it's still a great fucking series, and season 1 is fantastic. If you haven't watched Project Arms, watch Project Arms. Next is, for number 5. Yeah, number 5 is a very incel anime. Very incel, centric anime, and that's Dot Hack Sign, the complete series, which was one of those animes that I watched on TV as a kid, right? And I was like, man, I like the aesthetic, I love the music, but there's not enough fighting. And the reason why there's not enough fighting is because it's not about the fighting, okay? It's about the emotional damage, alright? It's about the emotion about the drama. It's about dealing with loneliness and isolation. Right? This is basically like the Evangelion of cyberpunk, anime, but it's like a cyberpunk anime with this fantasy art aesthetic because its characters playing like a virtual reality like video game, right? Well, it's not really virtual reality. They had headsets, but that's about it. They had PS2 controllers with headsets, and the games were also fucking really good. One of my favorite JRPG series of all time, and that was number 5, right? So number 4 is another cyberpunk anime, and it's very beautiful, dark anime, and it was made by a studio that does not exist anymore. Studio Manglobe, who directed the Breaking the Habit Linkin Park music video, and that's Eragon Proxy. If you have, it's like a supernatural cyberpunk sci-fi mystery show. If you haven't seen Eragon Proxy, the first episode can be a little slow, but it's a great fucking series, and everybody needs to watch it. And the female, I don't know if this has ever been confirmed, but the female character of the show, which she's not the main character, Vincent's the main character. A lot of people that kind of, well, it's more like they share the limelight, but yeah, it's like, if you're one of those people like, oh, I don't want to watch animes with female main characters, she's not the main character, okay? Vincent's the main character, but like the first episode makes you think she's the main character, right? And like, yeah, and I don't know if this is true, but people say that her design was based off the lead singer of Evanescence. The bring me to life, wake me up, save me from myself, wake me up. that band. But if you haven't seen Eragon Proxy, one of the best, cyberpunk anime of all time, which is, it's one of the only, like, it's one of those, something that, I forgot, whatever. I'm trying. Fuck, it's late. What I'm trying to say is, after the 80s and 90s, a lot of cyberpunk anime, aesthetically and story-wise, looked like shit. This was one of the few post-80s and 90s cyberpunk anime that's actually good and aesthetically is cool. Though it's too, a bit too much Matrix, but it's still good, right? So number 3 on our favorite anime list is another samurai anime, which is Sugary Death Frenzy, which is made by Madhouse, put out on Blu-ray by Funimation, and it's a very short series. It was only 12 episodes, and if you watch it, you know why. It's very R-rated, and it was based off a Japanese book series, which was made into a manga by the same mangaka as Apocalypse Zero. Which we're gonna review Apocalypse Zero at some point of the fucking movie, alright? Maybe do a reaction for it on fucking Retro Anime Fair. It's one of the craziest fucking OVAs of all fucking time, if you never heard of Apocalypse Zero. But what's great about Sugary Death Frenzy, not just the beautiful art style, it's one of the few Funimation dubs where, I actually prefer it over the Japanese, because they did really good voice acting in this show. And what's great about the Sugary Death Frenzy, not just the ultra violent samurai sword fighting in the show, but it really takes a look at the dark side of honor, and like, it's one of those stories where it doesn't romanticize like samurai. It makes samurai look like fucking assholes, and it makes like, the whole pursuit of like it makes like swordsmen look like fucking assholes, because samurai, like, that era was very classist, and if you were a peasant and you like pissed off a samurai, he had the right to kill you, right? And it was like, it also, so like there was also the dark side of the competition between swordsmen, because between swordsman schools, because you had like the leader of the school deliberately made their students disfigure opponents and duels, so to demoralize the competition, right? Because would you risk having a sword duel with a guy who's out to disfigure you? Not just out to win, but to disfigure you, right? So you and other fuckers don't go out and like try to fight them again. And the one problem I have with the fucking anime is the first episode starts off with this sword duel between the two main characters. One's blind and another one is missing an arm, and then the whole series is just recapping their rivalry and their backstory. You don't actually see the result of their final duel, which fucking sucks. For all we know, the books also had a similar ending. Also, I forgot to mention that the creator Togashi, the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho, said for his battle between oh my god, he said in like the in the post credits or whatever of the manga, you know what I mean, of Hunter x Hunter, after like the battle between Hisoka and Chrono Lucifer, that the inspiration for that battle at Heaven's Arena, right, was Sugary Death Frenzy, where like where he emphasized the strategy and of like, because there is strategic sword fighting in Sugary Death Frenzy, right? So if you're looking for a fucked up samurai anime, it's Sugary Death Frenzy. So number 2 on this list is Attack on Titan. And we're running out of time, so I have to, be quick. Attack on Titan, even though is if it wasn't for the fact that it was M-rated, it's the best shonen style adventure series of all time since like the Big Three. But it's not shonen adventure series. It's a gritty war drama, and it's very the story is great. Fuck anime snobs take on Attack on Titan that it doesn't make sense or whatever. He never likes to admit he's wrong, right? When the fucking he's pissed off that it betrayed the premise where humans fighting giants. The fucking Titans never made any fucking sense. The world of Attack on Titan never made sense. They even referenced that in Attack on Titan. The whole point of the Attack on Titan is our characters figuring out, like trying to tear down the lies and figure out the truth of the world, and it drives the main character insane to the point where he becomes the final villain of the show, of the manga. Right, so if you have never watched Attack on Titan, you never read Attack on Titan, watch it. And if you're a Gundam fan, you'll probably like Attack on Titan because a lot of references to Gundam in the initial start of the series, to the point where it pissed off Tomino, and Tomino went on a rant against Attack on Titan. So the last series for this top 10 non-mecha and battle shonen is Legend of the Galactic Heroes, which I don't actually... One of the criteria for this is that I actually had to have the physical, anime in my collection. I don't actually own the original Legend of the Galactic Heroes, but I do have season 1 of the crappy CG anime. Well, it's not the whole series is CG, just the ships, right? But I hate some of the redesigns of the characters that they did. They kept the designs for the two main characters pretty much the same, but then they changed everybody else, man, to the point where you can't recognize characters. So it's fuck, man. But yeah, Legend of Galactic Heroes is one of the best anime series of all time. It used to be on YouTube. I think now Sentai Filmworks released it, but it was $200 or some shit. Or at least that's the excuse my parents made when I asked them for it for Christmas, and they're like, "Yeah, we saw it. It was $200." It's fuck. It's over 100 episodes. It's going to be expensive. Fuck. But yeah, Legend of Galactic Heroes is one of the best anime of all time. If you haven't watched it, go get it. Go get it, and watch it. Which is also an anime based off of book series, which I own the first book. Maybe if I ever find it, I'll review it on the channel. So that's it for this podcast, guys. This is going to be a bitch to edit. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, peace.